You guys, a new update just dropped, so we have a new selection pack and also a new secret pack. So let's check it out, I guess. All of the new cards, what do they do? So let's see, we have Salamangreat, Pyro Phoenix. So this requires just 2+ fire effect monsters, so this is not super hard to make because Promethean Princess is a card that exists. But let's see if this actually does anything. If this card is link summoned using Salmon Great Pyro Phoenix as material, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Oh. Hmm. You can only use each of the following effects of Salmon Great Pyro Phoenix once per turn. You can target one link monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your opponent's field. Wait, what? Target one link monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field. Why would you do this? But it seems you can use both of these effects. Alright. If a link monster special summon to your opponent's field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Oh. So it's a burn effect. So you can use both of these on the same turn. Alright. And the really interesting thing about this is the destroy all cards your opponent controls effect. So this is actually easier to trigger than you might think. Well, obviously it's best played in its own archetype, but if we were to summon Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix, right? Uh, we would only have to summon it once properly, and then we can summon it back with Promethean Princess, and then keep relinking it. And we can recycle this with our Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf as well to add it back to our deck. So, uh, we would probably have to do it later because you cannot normal set or special summon monsters with the added monster's name, but we could just keep relinking Salamangreat, Raging Phoenix like that, with Promethean Princess, Promethean Princess summoned back. But in Salamangreat itself, it would be a little bit easier probably to just relink because you can just use the field spell with this effect, if I can find it. Sanctuary. If you link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can use one Salamangreat Link monster you control with its same name as the entire material. So we could just relink and recycle this constantly. But this requires fire effect monsters. I don't think there is a way to quick effect kind of like link summon this on your opponent's turn. Like, if we're just looking at the old Salamangreat cards, I don't remember any of them doing that. Maybe one of the new ones that does something like that, but alright. So let's do newly added. So this is an old card, right? Oh, okay, so we already had this one. So this is the new one, Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. Okay. So same kind of effect as the other one. If this card is link summoned using Salamangreat Raging Phoenix's material, you can add one Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. This seems like something more reasonable to make off of Promethean Princess, but okay. If a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one of those monsters, special summon this card, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. Uh, so if you're Promethean Princess, that would special summon itself, and then you can special summon Raging Phoenix. And what does this do for you? Oh, seems like not much. Okay, SB Little Knight. If this card is link summoned using a fusion synchro XYZ or link monster's material, you can target one card on the field or in either graveyard, banish it. Also, your monsters cannot attack directly this turn. That's a little bit weird, but okay. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including a monster you control, banish both until the end phase. So this effect here can only banish monsters, notably, so, This can banish a card in the graveyard or on the field, so pretty decent effect. I believe the most common way to make this is like using IP on your opponent's turn. Aside from that, it's kind of awkward to an extent. Is you don't get this effect unless you use a Fusion Synchro XYZ or Link monster as material. So, like, I I think something like Snake Eyes is probably like a primary abuser of this because we have Link Rebo. Ah, SP Little Knight. I see. This is why Link Rebo was banned. So yeah, that makes sense, I guess. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one level 4 or lower Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand, except Salamangreat of Fire. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for fire monsters, so you are fire locked. Okay. At the start of the damage step, if a Cyberse monster you control battles, you banish this card from your graveyard, destroy that monster you control. Wait, what? So the search effect is good, but the graveyard effect is kind of weird. At the start of the damage step, you can destroy your own monster. Does that do anything for you? Doesn't this already trigger from battle destruction? Yeah. I guess to prevent you from taking like potentially lethal battle damage, that there could be like a trick regarding that, I guess, with something Great of Fire or something. Yeah, I don't really see it. Okay. If you control King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only special summon Imseti, Glory of Horus, once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects of Imseti, Glory of Horus, once per turn. You can send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card, and 1 King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. Then you can draw 1 card. Wait, what? We add the Sarcophagus from our deck to our hand, draw 1 card, and send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card. That sends for cost, so it doesn't trigger 2 elements, notably. Okay. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect. Wait a second. It sends for cost, that means this loses hard to cash. Anyways, focusing back up. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your monster zone, except during the damage step, you can send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. So this has to be done by your opponent's card effect specifically. And it can't be this card. Kind of annoying effect, I guess, but where? Copy Guidance of Horus. If you control a King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only special summon Hoppy Guidance of Horus once per turn this way. It doesn't banish itself, I see, so you can just keep summoning this back. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect, same kind of effect, I guess, while this card is in your monster zone, except during the damage step, you can target 2 cards that are banished and or in the graveyards. Either add both to the hand or shuffle both into the deck. Oh wait, this effect's kinda nuts. What the hell? 2 cards that are banished? It doesn't even say what kind of card. Wow. I just don't have a lot to say about this. So, you're telling me if I were to Small World, I can use this card here to add the card I originally banished for Small World, and then like any card I banish off of Small World as well. The hell's up with that? Okay. And then we have Memento Tekutlika Combined Creation. Cannot be normal summon slash set, must be special summon from your hand or graveyard by shuffling 5 or other Memento monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard into the deck slash extra deck. This seems like a cost, because this looks like an inherent summon. Doesn't start a chain. Yep. This card looking mad ass so far, unless like the other cards just make you go plus like a more billion. Okay. Well, you control no other monsters. These cards can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Weird, but okay. Uh, Specifically has to be Memento monsters that has to shuffle. Okay. Is there a way to cheat this out? Maybe. That would make sense, I guess. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, except during the turn step, you can special summon a Memento monster from your hand or graveyard, specifically hand or graveyard, despite shuffling back 5. Uh, uh, okay. And then this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. That effect gets turned off by this soft once per turn effect. But, okay. This a when? No, it's an if. Okay. If this card is normal or special summon, well, before I follow up on this, because this is an if, the timing is weird, so uh, the effects, I can't really see this making sense. Like, like if we just imagine like a chain resolving, this card just seems Omega ass for various reasons already. It depends on what it's attempting to summon, I guess. We haven't seen what it is kind of attempting to summon, or what it's able to summon yet. This card is normal or special summon. You can add one Memento monster from your deck to your hand, except for Memento Tlan, in which you can target one level 2 or lower Memento monster in your graveyard, destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you special summon the targeted monster, wait, what? We target a Memento monster in our graveyard. It has to be level 2 or lower. Okay, and then destroy one Memento monster you control, so it could be this one, I guess. I don't know how the Memento monster got to the graveyard. I assume it might have been added by Anguish and then somehow going into the graveyard. Okay. Then we can special summon a level 2. Okay, whatever. Horus the Black Flame Deity. If you control a Horus monster and King Sarcophagus, you can reveal this card in your hand. And send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Send one card on the field to the graveyard. If face-up Horus monster or monsters you control, except for Horus the Black Flame Deity or a face-up King Sarcophagus you control, leaves the field by an opponent's card effect. Except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can send all other monsters on the field to the graveyard. This is awkward because don't all of the horse cards trigger when your opponent sends, so this doesn't trigger anything. Okay, then. Code of Soul. If you control a Link monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can activate this effect once this turn. If you Link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can use one Salamangreat Link monster you control with its same name as the entire material. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves. Link summon one Link 3 or higher Cypress Link monster. Oh, so that can summon that destroy all your opponent's cards Phoenix. Very epic. Okay. And then the main phase effect. If you link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can use one Salamangreat Link monster you control with its same name as the entire material. Wait, what? During your main phase, activate this effect once per turn. That's an ignition effect? Because it says it activates? Look, I've never seen problem-solving card text like this. During your main phase, starts a chain, colon, you can activate this effect, semicolon, and then once this turn, if you link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can use one Salamangreat Link monster you control with its same name as the entire material. Ah, what? I guess I'm going to just assume this is an effect you can activate to, so this won't have to be on the field, I guess, like later. But anyways, if you control a Link monster, this can be special summoned from the hand as well, so this is something you can play in Math Mech as well, because this is just kind of like generic. And you could even like have Code of Soul plus Ash Blossom Joy Spring, and this is probably combo, right? So let's see. Hmm. Yeah, this works. I think, right? Maybe. I'm having doubts now. I would need to actually read Splash Mage to see if it has like a restriction. Because if not, we could normal summon Ash Blossom Joy Spring, link that off for Almirage, Code of Soul, and then from there, we could make Splash Mage, and then Promethean Princess, if we would be permitted to do so. Not 100% certain if that works or not, though. Probably can do something with this, though, for sure. I am losing me marbles here. King Sarcophagus. Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects and do not target them. Ah. Oh. That is the most garbage protection I've ever seen in my life. Wow, you're protected from non-targeted destruction. Oh, what decks even do that? Vanquish Soul and yeah, that's all I could come up with. Vanquish Soul. Okay. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Send one Horus monster from your deck to the graveyard. Huh. Okay, you can only use this effect of King Sarcophagus up to 4 times per turn. Okay. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if your Horus monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. Well, that effect's actually kind of interesting since this is soft once per turn, so if you have multiple King Sarcophaguses, you could do that multiple times. And once again, what does it say? By your opponent's card effect, not by your opponent's card. So Kaiju's work on your Horus cards, I guess. Overload Future Fusion. You can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of Overload Future Fusion once per turn. Wait, what? So if I have 2 Overload Future Fusion, could I activate both effects? And if I activate one effect, can I not activate the other effect? I think you just choose one, and then you just activate it, right? Yeah, I think it's that type of effect, right? Yeah. Must be. Reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck, and send one material whose name is mentioned on it from your deck to the graveyard, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon or activate the effects of monsters with the same name as the one sent to the graveyard by this effect. Fusion summon one Dark Machine fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing its materials from your graveyard. I guess this is usable in at least, what's it called? Gate Guardians? Something like that would make sense. Like ABC as well. Probably. It would be fine to run this. And then the fusion summon a Dark Fusion monster or whatever, you don't technically have to activate this effect, right? So, you don't have to even use it for that. I have no idea what this is intended to be used with, though. I guess the assumption would have to be maybe Cyber Dragon? Wait, what does it say? Exactly. You cannot special summon or activate the effects of monsters, but we could still equip them, right? Because I believe Cyber Dragon needs to equip a certain monster or something to make their boss monster, so that works for that. Salamangreat Burst Griffin. You can target one level 7 or lower fire monster in your graveyard special, summon it, and if you do reduce this card's level by that monster's original level, also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for fire monsters. It's also completely generic rank, no, generic level 8, yeah. Strange. But this card is synchro summon using Salamangreat Burst Griffin as material. Wait, what? Can you do this somehow? I'm confused. I guess because it lowers its level, right? So if you summon back the tuner you used to summon this, I guess that works. Okay, you can activate this effect during the next standby phase, special summon one monster from your graveyard. Oh, that's just any monster, but you are fire locked, though, from this effect. And this is ignition, right? Okay. I do not understand in the slightest the purpose of this card, but wait. Uh, was this a tuner? No. This a tuner? No. Salamangreats have tuners? Do they? I'm so lost right now. Okay, Memento Twin Dragon. Requires any two Memento monsters. This is a Thunder fusion monster. Okay, so you can technically summon this with like Verte probably if you use Thunder Dragon Fusion. Well, whatever. Any monster destroyed by battle with your Memento monster is banished. Pretty useless effect, honestly, for the most part. Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Okay, you can only use each of the following effects of Memento Twin Dragon once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy one Memento monster in your hand or face up field, and if you do, add up to two Memento monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. This fusion summon card is destroyed. You can special summon one level 6 or lower Memento monster from your graveyard. Ah, I see. This guy's literally the only purpose this guy serves is to be destroyed by itself to like add guys, right? Yeah. It is truly one of the combo extra deck monsters of all time. Agnomal Candle. Okay, if this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon this card. This is a level 4 tuner, weird. Once per chain, up to thrice per turn. If a monster is sent to your graveyard except during the damage step, you can increase or decrease this card's level by 1. The more I look at this, the less I understand. But this looks like it's definitely abusable in some way, shape, or form. But like I wouldn't know for what. Salamangreat Tiger. Ah, here's our tuner. You can discard one other Salamangreat card, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effective Salamangreat Tiger once per turn. If this card you control would be used as synchro material for a fire monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. Wait, what? Then what would you be using as a tuner? Are there that many Salamangreat tuners? I don't remember them existing like at all. Wait, real quick, check. All of these are non-tuners. Why would you? If you have weasels specifically, I guess, is the only reason you would want that effect. My brain hurts the more I think about this. Okay. Dalmatif, Blessing of Horus. If you control King Sark, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only special summon Dalmatif, Blessing of Horus once per turn. This way gains 1,200 attack defense for each Horus monster you control. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your monster zone, except during the damage step, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters with different names in your main monster zone. Wait, what? Opponent's card effect again. Oh. Uh-huh. Kebbesineth, Protection of Horus. Okay. Special summon from graveyard effect, same as all the others, I think. If another cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your monster zone, except during the damage step, you can activate this effect this turn. Your opponent's monsters cannot target Horus monsters for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target Horus monsters on the field with card effects. So, this makes it a little bit more useful. So now you're not targetable and not destructible. Oh, this changes things. But wait, you need your opponent to make one of your cards leave the field first. Hmm. How pointless. Memento Katsunu Toshigo. If you do not control any face-up monsters other than Memento monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Oh, that seems pretty good, I guess. Okay. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control and send any number of Memento monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard whose total levels are less than or equal to the destroyed monster's original level. Okay, so the cards look slightly more playable now, but you're running a lot high level guys, so if you don't have a normal summon, you get screwed. But we'll see how this goes, I guess. Oh, okay. Mementotlan Darkblade. If this card is normal or special summon, you can discard one Memento card, then target one spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Uh, Is this even good? Maybe. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, special summon one level 3 or lower Memento monster from your deck. That includes itself, right? It doesn't say one other. So we can destroy itself to then summon the level 3 Memento monster we saw earlier. So far, it seems like a good effect, I suppose. Okay. EMP Meow Mine. If a Link monster is on the field or in either graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay. You can only special summon EMP Meow Mine once per turn this way. If a Link 2 monster you control is sent to the graveyard or banished face up, except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was sent or banished or hand. Even if not, then target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Hmm. Maybe playable in Sprite, potentially, I guess. So if a Link 2 monster you control is sent to the graveyard or banished face up, so if we trigger SP effect, I guess that'll trigger. Or IP effect. Either one works. Then we can return a card our opponent controls as well. And this is a little bit weird, honestly. Hmm. Is that random valence? Why are there randomly pens here? Wait, what? Is this the only one? Weird. Salamangreat charge. Activate one of these effects. Target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and/or in your graveyard. Shuffle 2 of the 3 into the deck. And if you do, so it's required to shuffle 2 of 3. Wait, that's weird. Well, okay, I guess. But for the rest of this turn, its effects are negated. Also, it cannot attack. Wait, what? What is it referring to? And if you do special summon the remaining monster. Oh. Okay, I guess. If you control a fire, ritual, fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link monster whose current attack is different from its original attack, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. That must be useful for something. But I mean, this first effect isn't like the worst thing in the world. Technically, if you summon back, it didn't say it has to summon back in defense, so you can summon a guy in attack, relink it, and then it'll trigger the Salamangreat relink effect, I guess, right? So that's fine. Drastic draw. Banish all monsters you control. Minimum 2. Draw 3 cards. You cannot normally special summon the turn you activate this card, except for Cyber's monsters. You can only activate one drastic draw per turn. Well, this looks completely garbage. And this banishes all of them for cost. Is there any reason to ever play drastic draw? Okay, Memento Bone Party. Destroy one Memento monster in your hand or face a field. Take one Memento monster from your deck with a different name and either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense position. So this card seems decent. And look, it has the word Memento in it, unlike Stake Your Soul. Wow, must be nice. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Memento monster you control. If it attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Okay, random piercing effect. Walls of the Imperial Tomb. This card's name becomes King Sarcophagus while in the field zone. During your main phase, you can add one Horus monster from your deck to your hand, then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. You can only use this effect of Wall of the Imperial Tomb once per turn. If you activate the effect of Horus the Black Flame Deity, you can draw one card. What is the effect that you speak of? Reveal, summon, send. Send one card on the field to the graveyard, and then the other one is if a face-up Horus monster you control. Aside from this one, or a face-up King Sarcophagus leaves the field by opponent's card effect. you can special summon this. So that special summon effect and this effect as well. Wait, what? You can reveal this card in your hand. Then send one card from your hand to the field to the graveyard. This is required. This doesn't say you can. You must send one card from your hand, field to the graveyard, and then you need to send one card on the field to the graveyard. What? Send one card from your hand to the field to the graveyard, and then send one card on the field to the graveyard. What? Hey, Metaphys Horus. But what? My brain. Memento Fusion. Oh, I guess you don't need Thunder Dragon Fusion. Okay, during the main phase, you can summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a Memento monster. If a monster or monsters in your possession was destroyed by a card effect this turn, you can also shuffle Memento monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material. So the grind game looks pretty insane with all the shuffling here, I guess, at the very least. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy one monster you control, and if you do, add one Memento spell trap from your deck to your hand. And you can add itself with this. You can only use each effect of Memento Fusion once per turn. Okay. So the cards just hold so much advantage, it might be playable. Ah, I see there's a random Valence card in here. That's why. Once per turn, if a card in the monster zone moves to another monster zone except during the damage step, you can activate one of these effects. Level 5 or higher Valence monsters you control gain 1200 attack until the end of this turn. So activate one. Okay, so other effects and this face-up card. From the spawn trap zone to the graveyard, then target one effect monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Place that opponent's monster face up as a continuous spell in the spawn trap zone in its same column. If the zone is occupied, destroy the occupying card. Oh, you have to actually send this. That's moderately annoying, I guess. Doubt this can be reset. Salamangreat Weasel. I see. This is also a new card. If you have two or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If Salamangreat Ritual Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link monster is special summon to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other Salamangreat monster in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of your deck, and if you do, special summon that monster to your opponent's field, then draw one card. Wait, what? What the hell is this effect? What is the purpose of this? Why are we giving our opponent a monster? It's just while this is in the graveyard, so we can use the quick link effect to trigger Weasel to give our opponent a Salamangreat monster. Yo. Why? I don't get it. Memento Horn Dragon. If you have 3 or more Memento monsters with different names in your favorite, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Memento Horn Dragon once per turn this way. If this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you enter 3 face-up cards on the field, including a Memento card you control, destroy them. So we can destroy 2 of our opponent's cards, I guess, with this effect. Destroy 2. Okay. Memento Mace. During your opponent's main phase, if you control Memento Lica combined creation, quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. Oh, we can just do the Yoinky Splinky on our opponent. Oh, okay. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, add one Memento card from your deck to your hand, except for Memento Mace. And if you do, so you must destroy to resolve this effect. Okay. And what is Teku Itla? Literally, which one is it? What? This one, the UR one. If you control it and you have this in hand, you can take a guy, I guess. This is from hand, right? Yeah, this is discard only. Very weird. This didn't add to hand, did it? No, this is a special summon. But if we special summon the Anguish, we can add Mace, I guess. I think, right? Goblin. Mementolan Goblin. During the main phase, if you control Memental Tekut Liquida, combine creation, quick effect, you can discard this card. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot target Memento monsters you control with card effects, so it becomes untargetable. Okay, I guess. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you send up to 2 Memento cards with different names from each other from your deck to the graveyard, except for Mementolan Goblin. I guess that might be somewhat useful because you can send that like spell and then that can add the other spell. I guess that's what that's for. Mementomictlan. If your Memento monster battles your opponent, cannot activate any spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. Okay, I guess. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of those monsters, special summon one Memento monster with a lower level from your hand or graveyard. You can only use this effective Memento Mictlan once returned. Once returned during your end phase, you attack one Memento spell trap in your graveyard. Set it. Oh, so that can set your fusion for the next turn. Confusing. But there's also like Bone Party. You can set Bone Party as well. Just okay, I guess. Bone back. If a face-up Memento monster or monsters you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, special summon one Memento Tekutlika combined creature from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay. If your opponent moves a Memento monster or monsters out of your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, except during the turn step, you can banish this card's special summon as many Memento monsters as possible with different names from your hand and or deck. Uh, okay. Um, no idea about these cards. How am I supposed to feel about this? Small Scuffle. Choose 2 unused main monster zones in the same column. Special summon 1 level 2 or lower monster from your hand or a deck in face-up attack position or face-down defense position in your chosen main monster zone. And your opponent can do the same from their hand or deck to theirs. Wait, what? Uh, huh. No idea why you would activate this, but okay, I guess that's a card that for sure exists. Cannot pick Protector. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon one Horus monster from your hand or graveyard. But for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters with the same original name by the effective cannot pick Protector. This card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard. You can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Ah, this is randomly pretty annoying. But alright. Mementotlan Gatic. If this card is no more special summoned, you can target one Memento card in your graveyard except for Mementotlan Gatic added to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard or Memento monster's effect, you can special summon this card. So that could be from hand, on field, if it's destroyed. Okay, I guess. Not really sure if that's even played, honestly. Phoenix Gearblade, equip only to a warrior or fire monster. At the end of the damage step, if the equipped monster attack, you can send this card to the graveyard during the battle phase. Each of your warrior monsters and fire monsters can make a second attack. Alright, if this card is sent to the graveyard or banished to activate a monster effect, you can add this card to your hand. Okay. Salamangreat, revive, target one fire monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Salamangreat monster you control, and one monster in your graveyard with the same name. Shuffle that monster from the graveyard to the deck, and if you do, that monster you control gains attack equal to the original original attack until the end of this turn. You only use each effective Salamangreat revive once per turn. What? You can only use each effect, so you can use both effects. And then you banish this card from your graveyard, target one Salamangreat monster you control. So it has to be, you have to control Salad for that. Salamangreat monster you control and one monster in your graveyard with the same name. Shuffle that monster from the graveyard into the deck. If you do, the monster you control gains attack equal to its original attack until the end of this turn. Yeah, this doesn't seem that useful, but it does also recycle while it's there, you know? I guess it's fine. Cyberse, link monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn during the battle step, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, you inactivate this effect. That opponent's monster attack becomes 0 until the end of this turn. Also for that battle, monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes battle damage. That opponent's monster must be face up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. Wait, what? Soft once. Battle step only. Uh, Reduce attack to 0. No battle damage is taken. Monsters can't be destroyed by battle. Is that forever? No, it's till the end of this turn. But it's for that battle. Monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes battle damage. Does that just mean monsters in general? Wait, what? This is so usable in stun then, isn't it? Hmm. I'm not missing anything, am I? Monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. It's not saying like those monsters, but is it referring to those monsters? This text is a bit ambiguous for me. Is this a stun card or a useless card? Can't fully tell here. When your opponent activates a card or effect during the damage step that your codetalker monster is attacking in. What? Attacking in? What? I've never seen that terminology in my life. When your opponent activates a card or effect during a damage step that your codetalker monster is attacking in. You can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you, your attacking monster gains 700 attack. Gain 700 attack if your opponent activates a card or effect during a damage step. And you also negate whatever they were trying to activate. So it's just nonsense, basically. Okay. Memento Fractured Dance. If you control a Memento monster and target one card on the field, destroy it. Targeted destruction, not just monsters, not just spells or traps. Pretty good, I guess. Then if you control Memento Takut Lika combined creation, you can destroy one more card on the field. When an attack is declared involving your Memento monster and an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard. All monsters your opponent currently controls loses 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. Huh? So attack decrease effect? And that's all monsters, not just one. Oh, okay, I guess. Mementotlin Cranium Burst. While you control a Memento monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack the Memento monster you control with the highest attack. Your choice if tied. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, except during the damage step, you can target one Memento Kutlika combined creation you control. It loses exactly 1,000 attack defense, and if it does negate the activated effect, wait, what? Monster negate? Um, you can only activate this effect once per chain. And it must lose the attack to negate. So that is like 2 monster negates, I think. No, this has 5,000 attack defense, so that's like 5 monster negates. It's not just on field either, right? No, wait, it is on field. Never mind. Okay, so honestly, my head hurts from like reading all of this like battle step stuff, and honestly, all of these destruction effects, in my opinion, seem pretty worthless because I know that Fire King's getting support in the future. Like, I don't even know exactly what they do, but you know, Fire King, OP, destruction, floating effects, whatever. Seeing all of these cards makes me feel like pretty much nothing. But hey, I mean, new cards to mess around with at the very least, so I'll probably be pulling for these cards somewhat. If I just pull an SP, it'll save me a craft anyways. And maybe the Horus stuff is useful for something. After I read all of them, it doesn't really look that crazy. So this has to send from specifically your hand to the graveyard, which is like pretty awkward. Does King Sarcophagus really do that much for you? I don't feel like it does. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.